Hello everyone, in this video I'll be translating and summarizing the latest Urdu broadcast by Samina Pasha to make it accessible for our English-speaking audience. Let's go through the key developments and insights in Samina Pasha's words. Today there was a very important incident that occurred outside Adiala jail. Afterward, the reactions to it and how it was used, everything will be presented before you. Along with that, I will also share Imran Khan's recent tweet, another strong and meaningful tweet, which also contains some advice. A very important agreement has been finalized between our companies and Pakistan regarding investment in the mining sector and related matters concerning the minerals available in Pakistan. I will share the details about this agreement with you as well. Today is also a significant day for a meeting in Adiala, and we will discuss that too. I request that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. As you know, last Monday, there was the hearing of Toshakhana 2, and outside Adiala jail, Awami Khan was subjected to ill treatment. Afterward, there was an emotional reaction from the workers, creating a spectacle that those who wanted to create a drama succeeded in doing. This was the exact purpose for which a helper had been sent there. So all this happened, and as a result, some expected outcomes were also achieved. The moment this incident occurred, immediately, all the so-called revolutionary journalists, those who were so vocal during Imran Khan's era, became active. Since the arrival of the PDM government, however, their revolution seems to have disappeared, only occasionally surfacing when they fear that another difficult time might come for the PMLN. Anyway, the situation was such that a variety of voices started condemning the incident, claiming it was a great injustice. Now, I also condemned it. I also said that there shouldn't have been any violence. But the truth is that we knew this whole thing was a planted scheme, a planned operation. But there was a trap in it, in which the PTI workers should not have fallen. They could have ignored it or handled it calmly, but this was a setup and the purpose was to create a spectacle. So, you walked into a trap. You took the bait, and soon after a campaign was launched against you. This was the expected outcome. The narrative was prepared in advance. It was as if everyone had their phones in hand waiting for something to happen so they could quickly tweet about it. PTI is a violent party, PTI is a cult, PTI is a thug party, PTI is a terrorist group, PTI is an extremist party. All these terms were immediately used and the condemnation began. This was all according to plan. I had told you earlier that the visuals were deliberately provided to be used, and indeed they were. But the more interesting thing is that later that same evening, a case was registered regarding the incident with Awami Khan, Naeem Haider Pajota, and some others named in it. So in the past few days we've seen a series of incidents involving PTI, where they were wronged, but no one was arrested, and no cases were registered against those responsible. There have been many such incidents, including attacks on journalists, but none of these cases ever get registered. However, when something happens to a favoured journalist like Tayyab Barlok, a case is immediately filed within hours. Just a few days ago, Awami Khan was attacked with eggs. Prior to that, there were many incidents. No perpetrators were caught, no cases were filed, and journalists were mistreated without any legal action. But Tayyab Barlok is such a favourite journalist that within a few hours, a case was registered against Awami Khan and Naeem Haider Pajota. Interestingly, they didn't name Imran Khan in the case, which I thought was odd. Maybe the case would be registered against him. But anyway, the case was quickly filed. I noticed that various journalists were discussing this issue, claiming that even the case for Arshad Sharif's mother hasn't been properly filed yet, despite her efforts to name the culprits. Similarly, there are countless other journalists, like Imran Riaz Khan and others, who have faced horrific situations, but no one ever registers their cases. The funny thing is, while half the country is drowning in floods, millions are homeless, crops are destroyed, and our entire food basket is empty, the discussion in primetime shows is about why Tayyab Barlok was pushed and punched. No one is discussing the actual incident, the behaviour of the individual involved, who was there with the intent to create a spectacle. But instead, every talk show is discussing how he was mistreated. And then, from the Supreme Court Press Association, A press release came out condemning the attack on Tayyab Balok. Other journalistic organizations also released statements. I was very surprised. I thought, here are so many journalists who are unemployed, yet no one ever spoke up for them. No journalist organization ever said anything when someone was unfairly dismissed or fired. But now, when a favored journalist faces an incident, everyone is quick to condemn. Atta Tara also made a statement condemning the violence against Tayyab Balok. I asked him, why didn't you stand by me when I was fired? You claim you stand by journalists with dissenting opinions. What was my fault? I never attacked anyone, never used abusive language, and never personally insulted anyone, so why didn't you stand by me? And it's not just me. There's a long list of journalists who were fired, whose jobs were taken away. None of you stood by us. Our fault was having a differing opinion, wasn't it? You didn't like our views, so you took us off screens and kicked us out of offices. But now you're claiming to stand for free expression and condemning the violence. It's hypocrisy. When you issue statements, you should back them up. When people condemn violence on both sides, it's acceptable, like Matullah Jan did. He rightly condemned violence, and that's the correct approach. But if you're going to make statements, stand firm in your beliefs. Then it makes sense. It seemed strange to those who were facing similar issues. They were criticizing PTI, calling it wrong. Today, if something is happening to the PTI members, those who are involved are also criticizing them. So those who are condemning based on a principle, that's fine. I absolutely respect that. But those who are selectively condemning understand that they are just acting out of opportunism. Selective condemnation can only be motivated by self-interest. Now the case has been filed. Let's see what happens with it, but a lot of noise has been made. And even today there's a possibility that another spectacle could be created at Adiala. So, Tayyab Alosa immediately went to his employer's channel, Azad Digital, and well, he gave a detailed interview there. He mentioned that he was receiving some pretty serious threats, and honestly, he knew this was going to happen to him. He also said that he would go again tomorrow, so obviously his assignment hadn't been completed yet. They must have told him to go again, so he would. The point is, today is still the day for a meeting. Different leaders are going to meet with Imran Khan. His sisters should also have a meeting. Let's see if the meeting scheduled for Tuesday is blocked, or if it actually takes place. Regardless, due to court hearings, the meeting scheduled for Monday has already taken place. So let's see what commotion happens today. But this seems like a planned conspiracy to disturb Imran Khan's message. When Halima Khan Sahib starts to speak about his statement, some incident should occur that will reduce the value of Imran Khan's message. Then everyone will start discussing a random incident that isn't really relevant at the moment. So I think this is quite clear to everyone that this is what's going on. Meanwhile, the message from Imran Khan has already been tweeted today. Let me read it to you because, part of it is important. Imran Khan says, I believe in La ilaha illallah, the belief that gives freedom from all kinds of fear and slavery. My life is in Allah's hands, not Asim Munir's. Our faith itself guarantees our true freedom, as this belief helps break the chains of fear. I'm being kept in solitary confinement with continuous efforts to break me. For a whole year, my personal doctor has not been allowed to examine me. For weeks, newspapers and TV channels are shut down. Family members and lawyers are not allowed to meet me. For a year and a half, I have not been allowed to meet political leaders. Asim Munir, I have a message for you. To increase pressure on me, if you want to imprison anyone from my family, go ahead. I will never bow down, and I will never accept this cruelty. I will continue my struggle for real freedom, no matter what. Imran Khan also pointed out that Asim Munir, in an attempt to please the opposition lobby in Afghanistan, is ruining the peace agreements that were made during our time, where we should have good relations. Efforts are being made to create tension. My heart is very sad that despite decades of hospitality, we have pushed our Afghan brothers out of the country. Even though there has been an earthquake there, we should have helped them. I specifically instruct Ali Amin Gandapur to go to Afghanistan, sit with them, and discuss mutual issues and peace efforts to prevent further deterioration. The illegitimate government of Pakistan should answer why Mariam Nawaz can travel to Japan and Thailand, but the Chief Minister of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa cannot go to Afghanistan to work for peace in his province. Imran Khan then talks about drone attacks and the KPK operation, urging everyone to help in the flood situation. All of this has been tweeted by Imran Khan today. What is very important in his tweet is the guidance he gave to Ali Amin Gandapur to go to Afghanistan and manage the issues with them. He also mentioned the opposition lobby in Afghanistan and how the current government is trying to please them, which has been a significant point of criticism. But whenever Halima Khan Sahib visits, you'll see that she communicates the message from Field Marshal Asim Munir, often mentioning his name. In fact, today alone, Asim Munir's name has been mentioned multiple times in the tweet. People say that this is the reason why Halima Khan Sahib is targeted, because she openly communicates this message. This is why it seems that efforts are being made to disturb her meetings and messages. So, this is Imran Khan's tweet. From his tweet, it is clear that even though he is inside, he is not afraid. He is not intimidated. Even from inside, he is aware of the people suffering and constantly mentions the people in pain. He even said that if he were outside, he would hold a telethon. Today, Imran Riaz Bhai also made a commendable effort. A telethon was held, and during the live transmission, many people, including senior journalists like Sabir Shakir and Samir Ibrahim, joined in to contribute to donations. It was a great effort. You can also contribute via GoFundMe. Apart from this, there was an important news story that has, somewhat been overshadowed by other news today. It was related to a major agreement between Pakistan and the United States regarding mineral resources. This was something that had been mentioned several times, especially when Field Marshal Asim Munir had met with Donald Trump. And during that meeting, it was discussed that the United States would want to invest in Pakistan's mineral resources. Asim Munir informed them that Pakistan has great potential in this area, and Sohail Bada Sahib had also mentioned in his column that Asim Munir's long-term economic plan includes utilizing these resources to repay Pakistan's debts and achieve significant progress. According to the latest information, a high-level United States official met with the Prime Minister and various plans were discussed. Several memoranda of understanding were signed. Field Marshal Asim Munir was also present at this meeting and a photo was released. The details of the deal reveal that a United States company, Motol, will be investing in Pakistan's mineral resources, focusing particularly on copper, gold and rare earth minerals. They will also provide technical support. Additionally, a $500 million investment has been promised. Companies like FWO and USSMM will collaborate on infrastructure and logistics projects in Pakistan. The details are still coming in, and we'll have to see how Pakistan benefits from this $500 million investment. In the past, when foreign companies have started working on Pakistan's mineral resources, Pakistan has rarely benefited from it, with most of the profits going to the companies. If Pakistan faces any reservations, like in the case of the Reko Diq issue, then heavy fines had to be paid, which created a bitter situation for Pakistan. Therefore, it's important to examine how Pakistan will benefit from these investments. The United States is clearly focused on mineral resources, and it is also keeping an eye on these resources in other countries. However, it remains to be seen if Pakistan might lose out in the process. The details of these agreements will clarify all these concerns. Furthermore, the Khyber Pakhtunkhwa Assembly had previously blocked the approval of the Minerals Act, which was drafted but could not be passed due to pressure from PTI's social media. If the KPK Assembly does not pass it, we will have to see what legal routes will be taken for investment. It is necessary that the local government of the province is on board when making decisions regarding provincial resources. So it remains to be seen how this legal issue will be resolved and how PTI plans to handle this. That wraps up our translation of Samina Pasha's video. I hope this English version helped you understand her message better. Please like, share and subscribe to Awami Lens to help our community grow. Don't forget to leave a comment below and let me know what you thought of this effort.